so let me just. I'm not used to this meeting mode. Okay, I can see Seun is here. Hi Seun, how are you? Okay, so I think she's still trying to connect. So while she's trying to connect, let me start the session. Welcome everyone. It's been a while. To all my parentpreneurs, it's been a while since we met like this, and to those who are joining us for the first time, thank you all. So today's session is going to be about NAFDAC registration. One of the things that had come out for our foodpreneurs was the fact that there just seems to be a lot of mystery, for lack of better words, or bureaucracies that surrounds getting NAFDAC registration for our food products. And you know that for many supermarkets, they'll be unwilling to stock our products if without NAFDAC certification. So this session is going to be facilitated by none other than the multiple award-winning Seun Sangoleye. Seun is, she's a CEO and mom and chef of Baby Grubs. And for many people, if you have a baby, you most likely have heard of Baby Grubs. If you've not heard of it, I'm wondering where you've been. Yeah. Baby Grubs is a range of food cereal for children. And it was founded by Seun Sangoleye, and she's a multiple award-winning author, speaker. She's dedicated to healthy food and nutrition for our babies, and she's been in it for a while now. I mean, I don't know when, but I know for my second baby, I started with her recipe book, and that was really helpful for my baby. So without much ado, I'd like to just invite, because this is not my show, this is Seun's show, and she's the expert. Seun, please, can we see your video? And can you please unmute yourself? Hi, Seun, can you hear me? For some strange reasons, I'm not hearing. Can you hear me, Seun? Okay, so I don't know what's happening, but I'll try to fix this. Can you hear me all? I can't see the chat button, so can someone just unmute and let me know if you can hear me, just to be sure that I've not been speaking to myself.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, great, fantastic. Okay, so Seun, over to you.
I'm postponing. I didn't want to postpone any further, so let's just go right into it. So talking about NAFDAC, why we are registering, how we should present our business to NAFDAC when we go, and then things. So I'll just go right into it, and I'll allow you to ask questions, and I'll answer them as we go. Next slide. Since you already have it up. So you can go to the next slide.
Okay, all right then.
Okay, so for most people, NAFDAC is like a big giant obstacle. And the truth is, if you overcome it, you go to your next level. I think I'm the best person to talk about this topic because I've had rejections from NAFDAC, and I did it all by myself the first time, second time, and going forward. So it's really nothing. I'm not saying it's nothing. It's a big deal, But then, if I can do it, you can do it. So NAFDAC is, I think this is not the next slide. There's a slide before this. Let's go back to.
Seun, there's just something about the audio. I don't know if it's me, but I can't hear clearly.
Okay, let me bring up my mic. Can you hear me better now?
Yes, it's much better.
Okay, so I'll just hold up the mic so that everyone can hear better. So this is not the slide that we're supposed to be on.
Okay. So let me just minimize it. I'll go on to the next slide. Should I? Are we here or should I move on?
No, not here yet. Is there one before this one? So I'm thinking maybe I should see my own screen.
Okay, you want to share your own screen? Okay, so let me stop share.
Okay, just a minute. Let me try to pull up my screen. Okay, so let me just continue because I'm still having issues with that.
Okay.
Okay, so we all know what NAFDAC is, but we also need to understand what their mandate is. Their mandate is really, like I stated here, to regulate, to control the manufacture, importation, exportation, distribution, advertisement, sale and use of goods, cosmetics, medical devices, water, chemicals, and like detergents. I think that should be the last. So their mandate is quite wide. Sometimes people wonder what NAFDAC business with my advertisement. It's part of what they are tasked to do. So it's really, really wide, but what we should understand is they are safeguarding the health of the nation. That's also their tagline, and that's what they are here for. They are not the evil bad guys that they've been made out to be. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Okay, can you pull up the next slide?
Okay. This slide or the next one?
Next. Oh, maybe it's network, but I'm still saying what is NAFDAC from my end.
Oh, okay. No. On the screen I have the screen. Why do you need NAFDAC?
Okay, good. So I'll just go right into it. Most times we need NAFDAC because we want to sell our products everywhere. And that's critical. Most supermarkets, when you go to them, they tell you this product does not have NAFDAC number. Even we at times, at one point in time or the other, if we see a new product and maybe the packaging is questionable, the first thing we look out for is does this product have NAFDAC number? So it just speaks to it helps people to trust your brand, and it also speaks in the integrity of the products that you put out to sell. And also one other reason why you need NAFDAC number is so that you can sell anywhere. Baby gloss is sold in 26 states currently, and in 4 countries. Even though those countries also have their own health regulations, but it helps for them to know that the primary country it's coming from has certified that this product is okay, it's sweet, it's safe, and it's fit for you. So those are the reasons why you need NAFDAC. And of course, I'm sure you know that otherwise you won't be here, to partake in this training today. And another reason is to avoid entanglement, like I put it. You don't want law enforcement officers on your tail asking you why you're selling products have not been registered. To avoid entanglement, please just register your product ahead of time. Okay, so another on the next slide, we can go to the next slide now.
Okay.
I think it's my actually because when we are going to the other slide, I can see this slide now.
Okay,
So the next question, how should I present my business to NAFDAC? Like I said earlier, I'm the best person to present this training because I had issues, so I will explain. When I went to NAFDAC the first time, the nature of what I do, my business was profiled as a small business. Meanwhile, I should have been profiled as a micro business. So there are advantages to how your business is in NAFDAC. So I'll run through the different levels of businesses, and then I'll explain what I mean by that. So for a micro business, typically there are businesses that are run from home. They are also called cottage or kitchen scale. Well, they used to be called cottage and kitchen scale businesses in the past. And for NAFDAC, you are a micro business if your business is run using a kitchen or 2 rooms, and also if you have less than 10 employees. In the past, it used to be if you have less than 5 employees. And I think it's great that it has been increased to 10 employees. So for businesses in the micro, so if you're doing things that are classified as everyday foods, things like chin-chin, things like bread, mostly pastries, we are allowed to run from home. Because there are other factors or other things that we need to look into before they are classified as a micro business. A small business, on the other hand, is slightly bigger than a micro business. Now, a small business is run from 5 bedrooms, typically. You have more than 10 employees as a small business. Now, the advantage of micro over small is the fact that when you're registering your, the tariffs are way cheaper. For a small business, for example, if you're registering one product, you can pay as much as 42,500, I think, thereabouts. But for a micro business, you'll be paying 10,000 naira only. And you're allowed to register up to 5 products, yes, 5 products for a micro business. So you have 5 products, register them under micro. When your products get to 6, 7, 8, then you are automatically put in the small business category. But for while you're in the level, the tariffs are lower, the requirements are lower, and the expense is really, really lesser. So for me, when I went to NAFDAC, I didn't know that there was micro scale of, then it was called cottage and kitchen scale. There's small scale, medium, and as it goes like that. So I was registered in the first instance as a small business, and so I had to fulfill a clear requirement. But looking back now, it was good because it meant that we set the standard from the first time, from the get-go. And then when we had to do other registrations, unfortunately, fortunately, not unfortunately, I didn't go. I'd already trained a member of my staff to be able to do it too. And so she was the one processing registration of real products, and then she registered them as micro. But now all our products are registered under small scale. So but for a medium scales are for businesses that have 50 employees upwards. Definitely baby gloves and a company, say for example, like what's the big company now? Maybe Chivita. You will not expect us to pay the same tariffs. And so that's what happens when you have a medium-sized business. And for imported foods, I wouldn't classify them under micro, small, or medium, but I think that have a special category. I stumbled on this one accidentally. I was told some years back. And then at the airport, people were calling me and greeting me. I was wondering, who are these guys? They turned out to be NAFDAC guys. I was wondering, NAFDAC, what are you doing in Morocco? And they explained that they had come to inspect a facility in Morocco. There's a Nigerian that wanted to import some Moroccan drugs to Nigeria. And so they have to come to Morocco to certify that the laboratory was fine, the manufacturing processes are also fine and all that. So they go to any country in the world just to ensure that the products are safe and healthy for Nigerians to use. So I really give kudos to NAFDAC for that. So you have to be very careful how you present your business to NAFDAC. So you might have a big business. When I say big in terms of revenue, but then don't go and say, because I have all the revenue in the world, I have all the funds in the world, let me go and start registering when you can do it as a micro business. Advisable that you register as a micro business. You'll be saving yourself up to as much as 500% the cost of registering as a small business. Okay, so but if you have more than 10 employees, definitely you have to go in as a small business. So if you have questions around this particular slide, please drop them in the chat and then I'll answer them. So another thing I wanted to talk about is also you should understand the classes of foods or classes of things that you can register in NAFDAC. Most of the things that NAFDAC is mandated, that was why I read the mandate earlier, mandated to register will be food, drugs, herbs, cosmetics, chemicals, detergents. I classify those under hygiene products. That will include sanitizers, detergents, bathing soaps, and the rest. So you need to know what category you'll be registering as. So Shay, we can go to the next slide now.
Okay.
Okay, so other classes, there's one more class I didn't. Okay, so this is documents that you need. I'll quickly explain this. I like to put this first because it's the most stressful one. There are so many documents that you need, and I've listed most of them. There's what's the word now? There's an appendix that I will send to everyone after the class to make it easier for you to understand and follow all these steps. So the first document that you need is your trademark. And if you are a lawyer or you know a little bit about law, you understand that there are different types of trademark. And for you to register your business, you might need one or more trademarks. Now, for us at Baby Grubs, the name Baby Grubs is trademarked. Grubs is trademarked. Just some of our product names are also trademarked, not all. But here is how you can save money as a business. And this was an idea that I when you start taking out of the box and you are low on finances, I really need to. So for your business, if you have foods that are under that class, you can use one trademark to register all your products. I'll explain. So if you have a product that is cereal, tea, cocoa, sugar, bread, flour, honey, yeast, they're all under a particular class. They call it class 30. I know that because that's the class that I am in. So, but when I try to register, so basically what we produce at Baby Grubs are cereals. But we also now try to register, what's it called now? Shrimp powder and fish powder. We're told that we need another trademark class to do that. And so there's a trademark, there's a class of trademarks that deals with fish and meats and things like that. So there's also another trademark class that deals with things like alcohol. So you should know what class you are registering, and I would advise you to go for a class that is really wide, that can cover a lot of things. So for me, with my trademarks, I can register sales. If I come up with feed tomorrow, I can still register it under my trademark. If I come up with maybe cookie mix for babies or biscuits or whatever, I can still register it under my trademark because that trademark class is really wide. So, and another thing is for a small business, and for example, maybe you want to register like 5 products. It will not be wise if you are low on funds. It will not be wise for you to now have 5 trademarks because a trademark can cost anywhere between 30,000 to 120,000. So if we are even to stay in the middle and say maybe you got trademarks for 70,000 naira, and you need to register 5 products, that's 70,000 naira times 5. That's already 350,000 on trademarks alone. There are still lots of documents that you need to go through. And this is just document 1. So if you are doing your trademark, go for the parent name. I will advise that. So what I mean by parent name is Baby Gloves is my company name. I can decide to trademark let's use Coca-Cola for example. Now Coke is, we can say Coca-Cola is the parent name, and they now have Coca-Cola flavor, Coca-Cola what flavor now? Cinnamon, pineapple. So for all your products, they might be the pineapple, the orange, the coconut, but the parent name is Coca-Cola, and that's what you trademark. You are allowed to use one parent name to register all other products. So instead of 5 trademarks, just register 1 trademark and use it to register the 5 products. When you have more money and your business is doing well and the products are doing well in the market, you can now trademark the individual names of the product. So you now have, so it's no longer Coca-Cola pineapple flavor. You can now just say flavor if that's what you want. But to save money at the initial stage, just trademark, just have 1 trademark and then use it the other products. So for us, you would see Grub's brown rice, even though brown rice is trademark on its own. But for when I started, I didn't have the luxury of registering individual names. So I just did Grub's rice. You have Grub's beans. You have Grub's maybe turkey, like that. So I wanted to explain that. But so that's how you can save money through a trademark. But the trademark is the one that takes the longest. So it's better you trademark first before you do others. Trademarks can be anywhere from 2 months to 6 months. So the earlier you start on your trademarks, the better for you. And so that's that on trademarks. So we can go to the next slide. The major parts or the major obstacle when it comes to NAFDAC, for me, my own opinion, is the documentation. So, but these days it's easier. In the past, you would have files when you now have duplicates or copies of everything that you. So this time around, when you have your documents, you just put them all in the flash, put them in folders and in the flash, and then you submit to NAFDAC. You don't need to start printing a million documents.
Hello, Sean, we can't hear you. Is it me? Hello, Sean.
And trademark can also, most likely, will also help you register your business. And that's fine. So next slide. So here is where there's difference between micro and small business. I'm assuming that everyone on this call is either a micro business or a small business. Okay, my video was stopped, but I'll continue. So if you're a micro business or a small business, there are so many factors that will separate you from the other when it comes to registration. All businesses require SOP. Your SOP is your standard operating procedure. NAFDAC will require you to submit it, and this is easy. It just means that this is where most people also have problems. It just means that how do you do, what are the standards that you put in place to do your everyday operations in your business? Your everyday operations will be most revolve around cleaning, sanitation, hygiene, how you take care of your environment and your personnel. Shay, did you stop my video intentionally?
No. Is it off?
Okay. Yes, it is. And
okay, but it's better. Sorry, it's saying what?
Okay, then. Okay, don't worry. Then we'll continue.
Okay, sorry, Seun. We couldn't hear you for some minutes. Can you please take it from the previous slide? I guess when you were just rounding up on the challenges with certificates of incorporation.
Okay, there's no challenge when it comes to certificate of incorporation. All I'm saying is it's important for you to register the business. NAFDAC will not register and register. So whoever is doing your trademarks can also do your certificate of incorporation. Your business can be registered even as a business name or a limited liability, whatever sort of registration you opt for. Just make sure your business is registered. Those are the basics that you need to do when you're starting to register your business. So once you have your certificate of incorporation and you have your trademarks, you're good to go. So the next thing will now be your SOP. And your SOPs are just how you, can you hear me now? Oh, but it's the network, sorry.
Is your video?
I don't think you missed. Yes, my video is.
Okay. So continue. Okay.
Okay. So the next document that you would need are your SOPs. That's your standard operating procedure. It's just how you do what you do every day, your daily operations in your business. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. It's
okay. So it's just what you do every day. How you clean, how you sanitize, how you receive raw materials, how you process them, how you take care of your environment, how you do your distribution and all that. So for micro businesses, the SOP required are not as much as for a small business. For a micro business, it is understood that you have few employees, you don't do as much activities as a small business. So your SOPs, the SOPs required for a small business, for a micro business, is around maybe 5 or 6 standard SOPs. But for a small business, rather, sorry that I keep making mistakes with the names. For a small business instead, your SOPs might be as much as 10 or 15. Mine is more. Even the one they didn't ask me for, I gave them because they are SOPs that we use in our business. So SOP just means that, for example, if you are required to submit a cleaning SOP, how do you clean in your business? So you can say things like, okay, when we come in the morning, we open the doors, we roll up our sleeves, we wash our hands, we scrub it for 20 seconds, like that. You have to be in detail, step by step, what you do to clean when you get to your office or you open up your business. Same thing, how you clean your equipment. If you are a baker, Then you need to talk about how you clean your mixers, how you clean your kneading machines, and things like that. So that's just what the SOP looks like. And it's not hard at all. It's not hard. But I can send you samples, like I said, of SOPs that I have for you to look through to give you an idea of what an SOP should look like. And it's in stages, depending on how, the more exposed you are, the more trainings that you go for, the more you improve on your standards, and then you flex your SOPs. But for a starting business, just do the basics that you can. And I'll share with you after the class what standard SOPs look like. But they are not just things that you write. You also need to do them every day in your business, because of even when you're not there, if you have your SOPs, things will run as they should. And not just as they should, they will run according to standards. They will run according to standards. So even if I'm not in my factory, I know that the waste will be disposed as they should through the appropriate channel at the appropriate time. If I'm not in a factory and a supplier brings the raw material, they've had cause to reject raw materials several times. The supplier already has our SOP, because even for something like beans, there's a color, there's specie, there's dry, the moisture content for the bean, there's the type of impediment that should not be there. So if you come with a bean, when you have a IP and still come with something that is not according to our standard, when it gets to the receiving port, it will be rejected. So for a business, you need that. It is critical that you have it. So don't look at it as stress that NAFDAC is putting you through. Just look at it as a learning opportunity. And for me, I didn't even know what. So when I go to NAFDAC, I would say, please, Joe, just put me through. What do I need to do? Instead of turning me back 10 times, just show me what I need to do. Show me a sample. And NAFDAC guys are not evil. They are not the bad guys. You can speak with them, you can ask questions, you can ask them to teach you. And that's one thing that I keep talking about whenever we go to NAFDAC meetings, that it should not be a police and thief relationship. If you empower small businesses, if you empower micro businesses, just with education, you see that we do better. Because a lot of us didn't have background in food, we don't have background in technology, food technology or nutrition science and all that. We are only doing the best we can with Google, and we're learning from other people. So just take it as a learning point and just go through all these processes. The next document that you required of you also would be test, food and last test, and even your products will be required to test it. Now, I will also mention the differences between a micro business and a small business when it comes to test. Excuse me. So for your test, for a micro business, you'll be required to test your finished product. For a small business, instead, you'll be required to test your raw materials and your finished product. So even though I'm on record here, please permit me to say that there's no other fast route. So there are some of these things that you can do away with. There are some of these things that you can, what's the word now? Not do, so to say. So I'll give you an example. For a business like mine, Baby Box, we have so many products, so many inputs. So if I have a product that has maybe an input of, say, 6 inputs, it means that I will have to test, if I'm doing my raw material test, I have to test my raw rice, test my raw maize, I have to test my raw groundnut, I have to test my raw potato, and they all will go into one product, and I'll still test the finished product. Now, for each test, standard test, the least that you can get it is 30,000 naira. So if I test the 6 inputs at 30,000 naira, and I still test the finished product 30,000 naira. So 6 times 30, 6 times 30, 6 times 3 is 18. That is 180K. Plus the 30 of the finished product, that is 210K on one product on test alone. test of foods alone. So what I did was I went to them and I argued my case. And you can do that, which is why you need to be really, really informed about what you're doing. So when you test, when I went to them, I told them, see, it doesn't make sense for me to test. I've done sensory tests. I don't need to do lab tests on rice. Sensory test on this rice shows that sensory test is what you can see when you touch it, you know. So I don't see any reason why I need to test my finished product again. My raw materials and then still test finished product. So I argued my case and said I'm only testing my finished product. And after like 2 or 3 days we were on it, they agreed. And I only tested my finished product and we passed the test. So you need to, like I said, there are people you can engage and speak with. There's no you must do this. Don't do that. So you do your test. For my businesses, the good news is you are not mandated to do your raw material test. But for small businesses, we have to do our test, our raw material test. So also you have to do your food and last test. Typically, you can walk into any registered laboratory to do your food and last test. Once you get there and say you want to do a food and last test, they know the required test that you need to do. And you have to do your test again I think NAFDAC says every 6 months. For us, we do it every 3 months. Be sure that our food and last are still very, very okay to work with food. So your food and last test are usually your typhoid, Seun, Salmonella, all those things. You know what it is. I won't bore you with that. The next thing that you need to get ready will be your fumigation test, fumigation report, and your labels. Now, the way to save money on your tests and fumigations would be to go through the local health inspectors. I can't remember exactly what they are called now. If I remember later, I'll let you know. But every local government has a health desk. So your local government, go to the health desk and then ask them that you want to do fumigation. They are way cheaper than any other private company, and they are very effective too. The first time when they fumigated, I didn't like what they did, but I told them specifically what I wanted them to do, and we had a very good relationship going forward. So they are way cheaper than any other government thing that you want to talk about. And their certificates are more recognized than for a private establishment. So go through your local government. They will also give you their own certificates. You know, you need to have that. NAFDAC does not require you to have that, but you need to have that because they can come and close down your store. They can come and close down your factory if you don't have the local government health. I can't remember what it's called now. There's this certificate that will give you that fine to operate a food business. It's a license. They are licensed to operate a food business in the community. So you also need to do that. And then when you have all your tests done, you also need to submit your labels. So this one is also tricky. You have to go through NAFDAC website to see what you are allowed to claim on your labels. If you are saying, oh, my meat pie is a wonderful meat pie. If you eat it, you'll not be hungry for one day. You need to give them substance to validate that claim is really true. You know, so they also regulate advertisements, and that is why you have to submit your labels to NAFDAC. So you need to be careful what you're claiming. If you're saying nutritious, what do you mean by nutritious? Well, what can you? Oh, yeah, stand by your nutritious claim. What makes you say that this meat pie is more nutritious than the one that is sold, you know, in say cotton market? So you need to be careful when you're doing your labels, and you don't need to go with your final label. Just go with the mock-up, and you'll be fine. So for small businesses, the documents are more detailed. For micro businesses, not so much. So that's it about documents. When all documents are ready, you take them to NAFDAC, they vet them one after the other. For a micro business, you don't need to have experts in food. But for a small business, you must have an expert. So for us, we have IPAN certified um, quality control person. We have certified food technologist who is our production manager. You cannot have just anybody. You cannot have somebody that studied Yoruba handling your production. No, it's not possible. You must have certificates to back it up if you are a small business. For micro businesses, it will be overlooked. So this is why I said how you present your business to NAFDAC also really matters. So when you're done with your documentation, then you submit. Next slide. Shay, are you there? Hello? Can anybody hear me? Or am I talking to myself?
I can hear you.
Oh,
I can hear you. Sorry, I unmuted myself.
Am I hearing? Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right then. So let's go to the next slide.
Okay.
So after your documentation period is over, you write a letter to NAFDAC to tell them you're ready for them to inspect you. They will generate payment for you, and then you go to pay, change your teller to receipt. And there's this process that you register online too. I can't remember what it's called now, but there's a pre-registration that you do online on NAFDAC website. You might not be able to do it because it's a little technical. There are some agents around there that can do that for you for little fee. So when you do that, then you can book a date for your inspection. I always suggest that when you book a date for your inspection, you do a dry run. You can do a dry run with somebody that already has that's already experienced in the past. So you can speak with anybody that has that around you and tell them to come and do a dry run for you. They'll walk you through what to expect on that day, and possibly likely things that might make them cancel, render your inspection invalid. So do a dry run before that day. And to be honest, like I've been saying this over and over again, NAFDAC people it's not a police and relationship. They are just there to safeguard the health of the nation. So if they see that if you don't know anything or if you have questions, speak with them, engage them, and they will put you through what to do. Because of course, only very little of us has background in nutrition of food and things like that to teach them. So on that day, before that day, you do your dry run and then you prepare. So there's something I like to say. I don't know if it's good or bad, but let me just say it. I say it to people that are doing weddings too, that there's nothing you do with your wedding that will make you the best wedding ever. And there's nothing you don't do before your wedding that will make you the worst. It's also the same thing with NAFDAC. So they're coming to do your inspection, do your best, and leave the rest. Because there's something I heard, and I believe it to be true. There is no way that they will come that they will not find a fault. Once you find a fault, trust me, they will find it. They will find because yes, it's their job. They will find something to say that you didn't do well. So just pray ahead of their visit. But cover the basics. Do the best that you can. Ensure your environment is clean, fix fan, label your doors if they're supposed to be labeled. Ensure that your generator is working if your power is not. If you don't trust NEPA, nobody trusts NEPA anyway. Ensure that everything is spelled, packaged, and when they come, they would have told you what to expect anyway. They will be going with samples of your finished product. You will produce the product the way that you have written it in your SOP. All your meat pies, all your chin-chin, your cereal, whatever it is that you want to sell, you will produce it for them to see that will be true from start to finish. You are the one that is producing this product. That's not to say that you can't do white labeling, and that's not to say that you can't use somebody's factory or workspace. You can use somebody's workspace too. That's another thing entirely. But if it is yours, ensure that all your staffs are trained, everything, your papers, everything is submitted, or you also need to have a copy because they'll go through it and vet that everything is correct, everything is accurate on that day that they come. And when they are there, when they come in, ensure that there's somebody that is with you that is taking notes. It is very, very important. So if they complain about X, Y, Z, that person is writing it down, noting it down. You now have to ensure that you put those things in place um, against their next visit, or put it in place so that it doesn't nobody comes again to stress you about that particular thing. So I remember for us when one of the complaints that they made at our hand wash station was that after you wash your hands, how do you dry it? And I just realized that we have towels, but then how do you clean the towel? There's no SOP for that. So we now had to remove the towels and then replace them with electric automatic hand dryers. Okay, so somebody was with me taking notes to ensure that okay, this one down is already there. That was one. It's another team can come and they will not even have issues with your towels. So depending on which team is coming, but then jot your I's and cross your T's ahead of time. And then you pray. Because like I said, there are different teams that have visited us at different times. One person might complain about X, another person might say, oh, this X is, it's fantastic. So I remember one of my friends, when they came, the only complaint that they had was that our cloakroom was for was not labeled male and female. That why should males and females change in the same changing room? There should be a changing room labeled male only. There should be changing room labeled female only. And that was why they canceled our inspection. And that was it. They had to do it all over again. So another person might come and not be an issue. It might not be an issue for that person that you have a changing room for both sexes. So for us, thank God, we are 100%. Our production team is 100% female. So we have only cloakroom for female. We just have a cloakroom. So it depends. Just pray ahead of the day that whoever is coming would only see the beautiful part of you. Okay, so can you fail an inspection? Yes. Next slide, please. I'm not saying they don't have SOP for the inspection. They do. But then, do you know how many people that expect, I don't know if you said it too, I don't know. But I'm sure they have an SOP. They have things that they look at. But like I said, there are some, people can pick faults. You can, in fact, some people can turn it to a witch hunt. Your inspection, it can be turned to a witch hunt. If there's everything, if they have an SOP and you pass every SOP, I use somebody can find something. I remember somebody that came, everything was correct. There was no problem. You know what that person said? We have a tree in the factory, and one of the branches of the tree was extending to the roof. And the person said that it means that rodents or lizards or something can climb from the tree over the branch and jump on the roof and then enter the factory. How will you say? So just like I said, just pray ahead of time that whoever is coming will be soon turn to a witch on sort of. That's just the point. So what happens when you fail? So there are two things. You might not fail outrightly. You can be issued. What's the word they call this thing? There's this thing they call it something. I have my NAFDAC file just somewhere here. Let me see what they call it, because I've been issued like two or three in the past. Just a minute. The compliance directive. So they can issue you a compliance directive that do this thing and then you pass. So a compliance directive, this particular compliance directive was that outside the factory, they found a hole. Apparently, so rodents have dug that hole and they can continue to dig it and then go underground and enter into the factory. So they gave me a compliance directive to block that hole. And then, so when I blocked the hole, I took pictures as evidence, wrote a letter replying that compliance directive that we have done this that you asked us to do according to this compliance directive, and we submitted it within the time frame that they gave us. And when we submitted it, they passed us for that particular inspection. So you might not have you might not have you might not fail your inspection completely. You might be issued a compliance directive. In fact, if you want to cancel your inspection or they want to fail you, ask them to issue you a compliance directive. That it's just like saying, "Hey, give me an opportunity to go and redo this mistake. Give me an opportunity to make it right." And then when you make it right, you submit the evidence that you made it right to them, and then it can pass the inspection. Otherwise, you have to go through the entire process that you have done of all your documentation, all your testing, all your everything. You have to start it all over again. But if you are issued a compliance directive, you pass, you'll be fine. So when you pass your inspection, that's just for stage one. You have passed the inspection. That does not mean you have collected that number. So when you pass inspection, that product that you produce today, NAFDAC staff will go with it. And one thing you need to know is that you are responsible for transporting NAFDAC staff to your factory, and you are responsible for taking them back. In fact, they will give you the type of vehicle that they have. So this is according to law. So when they are through, they will go with the samples of the product that you produced that day, and they will take it back to their office. This time they take the product to their laboratory for test. Because you have done your own test, it's now time for NAFDAC to test and see that this product is also safe, like you have tested it okay by yourself. Let us also test it okay by ourselves to see that it's as good as you claim that it is. And so it goes into the lab. Typical period in the lab is 3 months. Okay, so it goes into the lab for 3 months. And so for NAFDAC, they sit every 2 weeks. There's a panel of people, like a judge and jury. That's how I picture it in my mind. That sits every 2 weeks on products that needs to be approved. So they bring a couple of products out, maybe like, I don't know, my opinion, maybe hundreds, and then they look through the case files are presented before them, and they look through to say, okay, should we approve this product? Should we not approve this product? So they look at inspection notes, and they look at reports from the lab. So that is what they use to arrive at their decision. So when they look through and they see that it has passed every test, inspection has been passed, lab has been passed, then they pass you and they give you the go ahead to get a number. But if you fail in the laboratory and it comes to that table, you'll be invited again to let you know that you didn't pass it because of XYZ. Go and redo XYZ and then submit and start the process all over again. Okay, sorry, Freda, that we have to do. I didn't plan that it to be this long, but I'm almost through. And so if you pass, you get your number. If you don't pass, then you have to start the process all over again. But the thing is, they let you know why you didn't pass, and then you can do it again the proper way. Have I failed the lab test? Yes, I have. And I would like to say that it was a sabotage from one of my staff. But then we did it again, and then we got the numbers. So really, most people don't like doing this because they feel like it's stressful. But I advise you to do it because then you can fully learn all that you need to do, know it as a person. But when you're involved in the process, it's different from when you hire a consultant. When you hire a consultant, you just pay them and they just do everything. You just show up on the final day. That's also good. But if you do that, ensure that you read through all the documents that the consultant has prepared, so that when NAFDAC staffs are asking you questions, your responses are not conflicting with the information that they have So that's it. Honestly, will I use a consultant now? Yes, I can use a consultant now because I don't like stress. But I've been able to teach some members of my staff how to do it. So they are like internal consultants. They handle it. In fact, I can tell you for free that the last 5 products I registered, I had no idea. From start to finish, I was not involved. I was not involved at all. She just called me and say, this is the day they are coming for inspection. I showed up on that day, on the inspection day. So, and then maybe 2 or 3 months later, just called me to say that the numbers are out. I was very happy that my mentee has been able to do it successfully. So you can do it and then have your staff also empowered to do the same. And then for you, the advantages is that you're saving yourself a lot of money that because would have collected from you. I can't say exactly how much you, like I said, you do your trademarks and it goes is anywhere from 30,000 naira to 120,000, even more. You do your test, but you can if you know your product, the inputs, how many products are you registering, how many tests are you carrying out, your food handlers, how many are they, how many, so how much will it cost to test each person, depending on the laboratory that you use. You can use a government hospital. I've never used a government hospital, so I don't know what it costs at government hospitals. It might be cheaper. So I use a private hospital. So I can't really say exactly how much it will be. I think I can stop at this point in time for some time. If you have questions, you can go ahead and ask.
Thank you so much, Seun. That was a really enlightening session. So we already have some questions. I'll just start asking them so that we'll. So someone asked a question, but I'll paraphrase it. So pretty much what she's trying to ask is, where do you get the trademark done?
Okay, trademark is done at Abuja. I think they call them the corporate. Is it the Corporate Affairs Commission? I think so. But I've been there once, but trust me, that place is like you don't want to go and get yourself. That's my own opinion. You can speak with any lawyer, any distant lawyer can help you get it done.
Okay, all right then. Okay, so someone said, does the business classification depend on the product type? No, you've clarified that. Okay. Um, okay.
Even when you're doing your trademark, the person registering the trademark will ask you the type of product you want to, what you want to trademark, not even product. Because you can trademark names. If it's a product, they will ask you what type of product it is, so to know the class to put you under.
Okay. So someone is asking that, can pap paste or paste pap fall under micro categories since she has less than 10 employees?
Yes, yes, it can. And pap is even sold, things that are sold regularly, they're not not too, what's the word now? I mean, we all buy pap on the road, we see pap everywhere. So yes, definitely micro can come under micro.
Okay, so product testing, is it done by NAFDAC or private agents?
Both. You
Okay.
do your own test first, but the test has to be done at an IPAN certified lab. So we have a lab in baby girls, and it's IPAN certified. IPAN is the Institute of Public Analysts in Nigeria. So we have our own in-house lab, but you can use our lab if you want. You can use any lab. Just go to any IPAN certified lab. It has to be IPAN certified because when it comes to NAFDAC, they're strict on what's the word now? That's what you're doing is genuine. So you don't want to just do it anywhere. There has to be an IPAN certified laboratory that does a test. When you submit, it will be part of the documents that are sent to NAFDAC. And when they come to your factory after the inspection, after you have produced what you are producing for them, then they will take that sample and take it to their own laboratory to test again.
Okay, thanks for that. So,
Okay, so sorry, somebody quickly, I saw a question in that line, so I needed to quickly add it to it. You can go to Firo and do tests. I just remembered. You can test at Firo. You can do your test at Firo too. I'm sure it will be way cheaper. They can do nutritional analysis for you too in Firo.
Oh, okay. And Firo does nutritional analysis.
Yes, they just started it. There was a knowledge upgrade kind of thing for them last year by Gain. And so they are part of the people that can do um, this really sensitive test now. Can do it.
Okay, great. Okay, so we have a question from Risika, two questions actually. So she says the local health inspector at the local government, they're the ones that handle the food handlers tests.
No, you have to do your food and last test at you can do it at the government hospital or a private hospital. Or they will ask, they will request for it before they give you their own license. So I said they also give licenses. Their licenses are not, they are not presenting it in NAFDAC, but they will disrupt your business if you have their license.
Okay.
What they can do for you is fumigation, and that's for small businesses, not micro.
Okay. So she says, she's also asking, are you permitted to lease part of an existing factory for your own production and register your own products independent of your landlord's own?
Oh, yes. They call it what's the word now? You even some products you will see that it is manufactured by one person and the address is another person. It's here contract manufacturing. You can do contract manufacturing and you can use somebody else's those people that are doing your contract manufacturing for you. That's also where you NAFDAC inspection. So as I have a baby food company and maybe you want to do your own baby food too, you can use my factory, but of course it's not baby gloves name that is on the registration and everything, but it's just baby gloves factory. So when you are now submitting your documents and when your final product is out, all you now see is Shei baby food manufactured by baby gloves, but it's yours. So yes, you're allowed to do that.
Okay. All right. So Rachel is asking that, can you give us an estimate of what goes into registration of micro businesses? Just an estimate total.
I can't say. So no, it's not fixed, like I said. So basically what you'll be paying for would be your registration is 10,000 naira. That aside, if it's just one person, you're allowed to be the only person working in your organization. Anyway, so if it's just you, your own test, I don't know how much a food and last test costs. It can be anywhere from 10K to 50K, depending on where you go to do the test. So your own test is covered. Your trademark is about, I said, 30,000 to 120,000. That's too. Your labels, cost of doing your mark labels, cost of putting your factory in place, your equipment. So it's not actually fixed. You can have a budget. You can budget. So I would say you can budget anywhere from 150 to 200,000, and then start doing what you can ahead of time. I'm talking. Oh, hey, sorry, Muji, you can't hear me.
We can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, okay, great.
Okay.
So right. It's not fixed.
Okay. So I have a question from Moji. She says, does your lab do nutritional analysis?
Okay, so there are different types of analysis. There are really so many types.
No, I mean she's asking that.
When you say nutritional, yes, we do.
Okay.
We can do the analysis that you present in NAFDAC.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
but I'm not asking you to come to me. I'm just saying you can do it to yours.
No, okay, so okay, so my own question in line with this is, okay, so if I have maybe like a cookie now, and I say I want to know the nutritional components, because it's something I've always wondered, you see a lot of claims online, and I say I want to know the nutritional components of this cookie. Can I come to your lab to do this?
You go to Firo to do that.
Piro,
And
okay.
I can tell you like 2 or 3. I have the information on my desk. So that would be, you want to know the micronutrients that are in there. You can
Yes.
do that at Piro, you can do that at SON, you can do it at NAFDAC too. You can do it at Battle Chemicals. So these are accredited facilities. There's just how many of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them in Nigeria. 3 private, 3 public. That you are sure that what they are giving you is correct.
Okay.
So this was, let me advertise Sun a little bit. So what Sun has done is a lot of these tests, all these they just do not test for. It's not valid. So what they did was to have standard organizations in US and some other European countries that are known worldwide to do confirmed quality tests. And then they did random sampling of companies in Nigeria that are doing tests too. And all of them didn't even meet the mark. So what they now did was to upgrade the facilities of these public and private sectors, upgrade their equipment, upgrade their knowledge, then train them to be able to do exactly what foreign people are doing. And at the end, these 6 people passed, and you are sure that any test that these 6 people do, it compares with any other thing that you get from any other place in the world. Okay, so the 6 of them are NAFDAC, SON, Hero. Those are the public ones. And then for the private ones, you have Battle Chemical Laboratories. I can give you all their details later. Alpha Chemicom Lab, and IITA. IITA too can do that for you. IITA is in Ibadan.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I think we have just 2 more questions.
Oh, dear.
So there's someone saying, how long will the entire process take?
It can take anywhere from, so there's something they call fast tracking, especially for people that are exporting their products. So they can fast track your number for you. In fact, you get your number first before the entire process. For the normal process is you get your number at the end of the day. But for fast track, you get your number first before. But you are not going to use that number to go and start selling. So they give you that number because of people that ship outside of the country and it takes a while on the IC. So they give you a number depending when it gets to where it's going to. But typically it takes anywhere from 3 months to 6 months.
Okay, 3 months to 6 months. Okay.
It can't be earlier than 6 months. Because even the laboratory takes 3 months.
Okay. All right. I think that's actually about all. All the other questions have been answered. Do we have any more questions? Even though we have to run, we've run out of time. But I think if you have any questions, please send it to info@paywen.org. We'll get it across to Seun, and I'm sure she'll be happy to provide answers to those questions. Seun, please don't forget the templates that you said you'll send to us. Templates for this SOP.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yes, and I think you mentioned some other documents.
Yes, I already did them.
Okay. Thank you so much, Seun. Thank you. Despite the fact that you were not feeling too well, you still made it. This is something we've been looking forward to for a long while, and I'm sure it has been a beneficial session for all those who attended. Even for me, I mean, I've had a food business I've not thought of doing because I just thought I don't have power for NAFDAC's wahala. But I mean, this session makes it look easier than I thought. So thank you so much, Seun. I really, really appreciate. And thank you for your time. Thank you all to those who attended. God bless you.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
All right then.
Thank you so much. God bless you. I really appreciate it.
So ladies, that's the end. The video on YouTube, on our YouTube page, it's up already because we're doing a live stream, but we'll edit it and put up the proper video by tomorrow. Do enjoy the rest of your evening, please, and God bless.